Morning, guys. Just bleeding out the unit. Get the air out of it. Gotta put a little tape on that and disconnect this so it don't. So it's Saturday, September 20th, 2025 here in Rusty, Rhode Island. Servicing my hydraulic pump. I just drain the old oil out of it by just pumping it into this jug. And you can see it looks kind of dark. So it gets moisture in it and it turns it that color. And that's the worst thing you can have in the hydraulic system in the wintertime is moisture, because ice crystals form and it can plug up the intake pump filter. So get a little of this tape on here. Little Lucky joined me this morning. She's out here. Spent a little time in the yard yesterday. I set her, I put a cable up so she has more runaround room. Take you out and show you that in a minute. She's really been enjoying herself, being able to run around more. Always want to make sure you got some tape on there to get that good and tight. This hydraulic pump was in a dump truck, and it was like a 70s International, and it just got old and they junked it basically, and I grabbed this pump out of it. And I've used it ever since. I got it like in the mid-90s. All my new trucks now all have a serpentine belt, so it's a pain in the butt trying to hook up a V-belt for your, or even to hook in a hydraulic unit with the new serpentine belt. So having electric hydraulic is pretty much where everybody's going these days. I remember we had one truck that ran off of the PTO, and if you wanted to raise the plow, you had to put it in neutral, let the clutch out with the PTO engaged. I about burned my knee out driving that truck, clutching all afternoon and evening in a blizzard. I didn't even want to drive it anymore. I was hobbling for 2 weeks after that. So we got this pretty much ready to go in the truck now. So I was telling you the other day, I want to bring the snowplow around and just give it a good looking over. And I don't have any hydraulic cylinders to swing it left and right now. I basically just have a pin, and I pull the pin, move the blade, put the pin back in, and I'm only doing 2 driveways. I mean, it just wasn't worth me going through the hassle of running all them hydraulic hoses and everything. If I had a different plow set up, it'd be different, but I would have to run the cables out to the hydraulic, and just ain't worth it just to push some snow on 2 driveways. I just keep the plow pretty much straight and just keep pushing forward and work my way back and forth, and it works fine. So I had this idea. Cheers. So I've been staring at the back of the van truck, and I keep thinking something is missing, man. Something is missing. And I think I might have figured out what that is, and that's this. A Chevrolet emblem. But I don't want to just stick a Chevrolet emblem on there. What I want to do, I think, is take this and make a stencil and lay it on, the stencil on, so that I stay with the contour of the trim, and then paint it on. So I'm going to have to make a stencil and figure out a way to get that to work. Seems like all I do is make work for myself, but There's no rush. I'll get to that. I got to clean up out here. I got to put all this stuff away. So I put Lucky's cable back up. It runs from the corner of my garage over to the house over there. And I got to tighten the cable up a little bit. I figured it was going to stretch a little bit when I first did it. Found this cable in the apartment. This was one of the things that guy left behind. And I've got enough to make 3 of these, so it was a pretty long cable. So what I'm going to do is let her run, give her a lot more run room on that. And she's already been enjoying it. She runs back from the backyard to the front yard she's got more running room now, and it kind of keeps the cable out from between her legs too because it's up high. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. I was going to show you, I got real energetic yesterday. And we got this piece of glass up there. So you can see the glass is installed. I made a cradle on both sides. I took that 2x4, put 2 coats. I had some exterior clear, and I wanted to use it up. So I put 2 coats of clear on it, screwed it to the bus itself with self-tappers, and I'm going to run a nice thick bead of urethane caulking. It's called water cutoff underneath, and then a urethane caulking on the outside that has a UV rating so it won't break down. Eventually this is all going to get covered with rubber across over, and I'm also thinking about doing a little more on this side just to make a piece that'll come off at like a 30-degree angle, and then I'll terminate the rubber, and that'll give me just a little bit more wind and rain protection on this side. No rush. I still got those 2 glass. I may think about making some sort of a bracket that can put those up, and then the rubber will connect the seams. Another beautiful day. Look at this sun coming up. It's supposed to go down into the 50s and 40s at night now. This weekend. It's not going to be like that, but we're starting to see little glimpses of fall. So I'll be firing the solar heater up. What I do is I have 3 panels in the greenhouse, and the sun beats on those. The water there's a 600-gallon water tank under the greenhouse. So once I get that tank warmed using the sun, it is basically just a 12-volt pump that runs and keeps it working, and that keeps the greenhouse just warm enough so that it get you through the night. Any frost won't kill your plants. When I've ran that before, years back, I had tomatoes right into late January, and then the plants just kind of died off. But it stayed warm enough in there at night where they weren't freezing, and that's what. But what ends up happening with the tomatoes, you get like a real thick skin. After a while, you can tell the difference in them. The skins get thicker for some reason. Not sure why. Still taste good, but they're just a little more chewy. Got to pick up that brush. Got all this stuff laying around still. I got some more glass that I'm going to be getting rid of. Some of that glass I break up. Now, I know people laugh at me, but I throw the broken glass up into those hills, and it keeps the possums, the rats, and everything else that likes to dig holes from digging into those banks. Anytime I find one, I fill the whole hole up with broken glass and fill it back in. They won't dig into the broken glass. And what's it hurting? I leave it jagged. You know, it's a method I was taught to get rid of rats, mostly. You fill the rat holes up with broken glass and they move out. Huh. Strange, huh? Alright, guys. Where I grew up, there was a city dump, town dump. That's why we had so many rats, man. We were kids, we used to take the .22 rifle down there with my dad and do rat hunting. Amazing. And when you shoot one of the rats, all the other rats come over and eat it. It was funny as hell. It's like eating their own. Out from West Rhode Island, guys. Hope you all having a good weekend.